2020, the year that has made some history repeat itself and reminded everyone how important every little thing in life was. Just when you think things are getting better, you realize it's just getting to another phase. Welcome everyone, it's the Torch again with your boy Elyse Ushindi, and today I just got some crazy things that have happened along the week and some interesting things. Well, last week, schools in Uganda were scheduled to reopen in October and lockdown at ease, but it turned out no one wants to go to school anymore. Now, after long months of waiting and the lockdown, everyone was asking themselves when they're going back to school. But when the president announced, Mr. Museveni, that schools would be open again, everyone was freaking out and they were like, we can't go back to school anymore, it's the end of the year. And I must say, they're very, very right. In this week's news, let's start with some breaking news. This week, legendary building of Makerere University was on fire. And guys, this is terrible and it's so horrific. That building, and to the people of Uganda, it's more like a monument. It's more like a beacon, an icon of hope. Just like you see the Statue of Liberty in New York to the people of the United States of America. So that building being on fire was so terrifying. I saw the news and I was feeling horrible because that school is absolutely a legendary school. And just as soon as His Excellency Yoweri Museveni had announced that schools would be open for all candidates, Primary 7, Senior 6 and Senior 4 and the university. But now that the building was on fire, everyone is asking themselves how are they going to be back at school. Everyone was so shocked and it was terrifying to see that building on fire. And I myself, like I said, I'm still terrified because that building is more like a monument to students and the people of Uganda. A lot of people, great people, have been to that school and it has existed for so many years. But there might be hope of having that building up again ASAP and as strong as it has always been, because the First Lady, Madam Janet Museveni, and the former Minister of Education and Sport visited the building night after the fire. And that there is some good news. Believe it or not, that is some good news. Seeing Madam Janet visiting that school after that fire that night, it was, I think, a little bit of relaxing. Because if you really understand Madam Janet, she's a woman of her words. And yeah, some people say she hasn't done anything for the country, but I believe she's done something for Uganda. So people have to just have faith that that building is going to shine anytime sooner, you know. In other news though, if you thought black people were so bad and discriminated in this world, then you were wrong and you might just want to take a step back. Well, I'm not saying black people are not really being mistreated, but well, not only black people should be, you know, talked about and all that stuff. Because it turned out that in China lately has awakened a conflict that started almost 1300 years ago. The Uyghur Muslims are considered one of the legendary ethnic groups of people to ever lived in China, and today they live in Xinjiang provinces. But now, these people lately, China was accused of trying to take away their birthrights and holding them into camps, and the world was super freaking out about it. But later on this week, some officials in China came out and spoke to the world to try to clear some air, saying that the camps were re-educational camps, and that and what is that like, and that is like how they just wanted to keep them there, the re-education camps. And I had to ask myself, what are re-education camps? Because seriously, what are re-education camps? If you're trying to put old men into re-education camps, and when they have their homes, they've lived there for 1300 years, and then you want to put them in camps all of a sudden, it's just super freaky and super crazy. So I tried to ask myself, why are you doing that? Because clearly they never gave an explanation why they were doing that. And that was super freaking crazy. I was laughing trying to see how they were trying to make this whole story go sideways, trying to tell people, nah, we didn't do anything wrong, they're just in re-education camps. Okay, I wish I could even try the Chinese accent, trust me. That would be super fun. But seriously though, that is not how you treat people. China tried to say they had no hand in the brutality that was going on. But how do you explain to people, the people who have watched these videos, who have seen these videos being uploaded on social networks? Some videos went on social media platforms, different media platforms, and people were super freaking out seeing how brutalized people were being treated, Some were being beaten up, some were being stepped on, just like black people. And folks, this is why I said, black people are not the only ones who are being mistreated. So we might just want to think again and see really what the hell is going on in this world, It was so sad, seeing it happen, and it is always sad, Sometimes I wonder, how do people think they're the superiors of this planet? Because clearly, I don't think anyone should be superior on this planet. And literally, no one can even be a superior on this planet. But hey, they just want to be that. That's what they want us to, That's what they want people to think. But that's really the truth. The truth is, no one is superior on this planet. So people should be careful, because sometimes, there is a reason the planet goes round. So sometimes these tables are going to be turning around, and I don't know. Speaking of, after months of hope that justice could come knocking on the front door and some peace, unfortunately, all of a sudden, all hope was gone. This week, the judge that had been working on Breonna Taylor's case, a woman who was fatally shot while at her house in the middle of the night, it turns out there is no justice for her or her family. They don't just give a damn about whatever happened. She lost her life, they're calling it a tragedy, and that's it. And guys, this is horrible. Okay? The police officers said they had a no-knock warranty. And to those who are living in the United States, I know you understand what that is. No-knock warranty, some guys will just knock up your door and enter there and just, do whatever the hell they have to do, which is super crazy. You can't just come into someone's door and just bang it open and enter in and then expect them to chill, bro. This is not Africa. Especially in a country like the United States, everyone has a gun. They're like toys in a house. Okay? Come to Africa, you can bang my door, that's fine. Because you won't get shot at. We don't have guns. And even if we have them, we don't use them. We're scared even having a weapon into our own hands. But in the United States, someone has a gun, they're going to use it, which is super freaky, super crazy. The police officers who shot her, only one was charged, and not for shooting at Breonna, but for the missing shots. Now, I don't know what's crazier. The fact that 3 officers shot more than 5 rounds, and some got Breonna Taylor and she's dead since March, and they're not going to be judged. Or the fact that some of the bullets missed and crossed over to a neighbor's house. So I must ask myself, what is more important here? What people should look at? The fact that Breonna Taylor is gone and she's dead, or the fact that just the property was destroyed? So seems like to me property is much more important than just a human life in the United States of America, and that's pretty crazy if I'm right. Okay, because the charges that were placed on this officer, only one of them, there were 3, 2 are having no charges, and 1 is just going to be fired and charged with the missing shots. I don't even know how they call that. I don't really know how they call it, but that's what they're going to charge him for. He missed. So it's more like every bullet should have stayed in the house of Breonna Taylor And I don't know which is super crazier, you know. So because you can control how fast a bullet can go. I think even the judge was missing this. You cannot control how fast a bullet can go. The force that it uses to get out of the hole, like, you know, the whatever it is. I don't know anything about guns, but that's super crazy. Because a bullet goes through anything, literally anything. Can go through even 3 human beings and still moves on. So the fact that it's going to be charged with missed bullets, missed shots, as they say, and that's freaking out. But seriously though, as heartbreaking as this sounds, I kept looking at it and I was wondering, what in the hell is going on? Some officers even claim that Breonna's boyfriend shot at them first. But the question is, how do you expect someone in the United States owning a gun? It is legal to own as much guns as you have. How do you expect someone to react when you just bump into their house at night in a country like America? Guns are like toys everywhere. Even in the coach, you might come visit someone and the same coach you're seated on, there's just a store of them, you know? It almost feels like some people who buy the guns in the United States should just start selling them again, because they might even get too much of them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, and it's not like these officers came with sirens on, that the boyfriend had the sirens and shot at them anyway, you know. But seriously though, this is sad, heartbreaking and terrible, that even after all of it, black people have no place in America. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. Black people have no place in America. After 500 years of repeated history, some people just still think that Black Lives Matter. Well, let's not talk about Black Lives Matter, because this is just a movement that has been created lately. It hasn't been there for 500 years. It's pretty new, but calling it fraud, that's fine. Call it whatever names you want to call it, that's okay. That's pretty fine, okay? But these people are, some of these people have bad backgrounds. Some of these people are stressed. They're faced with trauma, insecurity, hate, pain, and everything around it. But the only people I could like, the only people they could reach to, they're all long dead. This is the only generation where this will change and rewriting history. But it turned out we're still going to repeat it, and which is really sad, you know. After 500 years, black people of color, like, let me just say people of color, because not only black people have been mistreated in the United States of America, but it just makes someone sick, you know, like real sick. For 500 years, this has been going on over and over again, and nothing has been done, you know. History keeps repeating itself. People call it fake. People say, okay, black people have just too much crime to be even supported or defended. But hey, that's not the case here. The case is just justice. I came across a post that was saying, why is ending racial injustice a debate? Because this is something simple. You can create a law, you can create whatever it is, and just make sure that this ends. You know, it almost feels like we're going back in the days of slavery, like real slavery. You know, when a black person couldn't say a thing, they just had to do whatever the master asked for, and that is super crazy. But it's just like what was happening in South Africa. Why people were so scared that if a black man had got in power, they'd face the same fate a black man had been through. But I must say this, just like Miriam Makeba said long before. She was asked in an interview, and she was asked, what do you think will happen to a white man if a black man goes into power? And she said that will depend on them. Because if we have the power, we can choose to do whatever the hell we want to do. But if we do that, When a white man goes in power again, it's going to be, okay, payback time. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what we want. That's not the life we want to live in. That's not how we want to be with everyone around. You know? So, I think this is the thing that people fear. They think if a black man gets into power, they're going to take over, they're going to mistreat a white man. But that's not true, man. Y'all folks just worried about nothing. You know? That has never been the case. That if a black man goes into power, white people are going to be mistreated. That has never been the case. Because if a black man wants power, he will get it no matter what. But can't you see what's happening? You know, these are innocent people. Some of them are innocent people who are being killed and taken away from their loved ones, and nobody has done shit about it. And it sucks. As much as you don't want to hear about it, it really sucks. You know. But let's just keep it that way. And speaking of, you know those moments in life where you just so down to talk about anything? Well, it turns out that sometimes it is okay to have a me time. I don't even know what that is or who knows what that is, but sometimes it's okay to have a me time. Last week after we were back online, there was a show of a lot of support and that it felt like we had never took a pause. And that was amazing, guys. Thank you so much. But I have one last message to pass through. You see, our fallen fathers made a lot of mistakes. Whites, blacks, Asian, European. They made a lot of mistakes. Some of them we can't even take the blame on. You know? We can never wake up and say, alright, I accept my dad did this. We can never do that. But what we can do is try not to repeat that. Try not to do what they did. And try to be the better versions of ourselves. Because that's the only way we can actually quit everything they did and just move on. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that people do not want to move on and they just want to keep repeating history, we're getting doomed. At any time from now, everything that's going to be happening is just going to happen, and we won't do a thing. And it's going to be history repeating itself over and over again. Every time a black man goes to power, it's going to be a thing of whether to do a payback or not. And when a white man goes to power, it's also going to be the same thing. But if we keep doing that, then we're not having anything. I must say this. The young generation should do something about this. But it seems like that's not what they're up to. Everyone is enjoying the life they're up to. And until they face something horrible, that's when they think of, trying to do something. That's when they think of, oh man, I'm in shit, I need help. But that's not how it should be. We shouldn't always have to wait when we're in trouble to find help and understand that other people need us. That's not when we should come to our own senses. Well, that was it for today. Thank you for being here, everyone who's been here. And please don't forget, we're always here every Friday at 5:47 p.m. every Friday. And you have more programs coming along the way, so stay tuned. You can get more of these videos on YouTube, my YouTube personally, and the company's page, which is Kiangwali News. You can also visit our website and Facebook page for more. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next Friday. You've been an amazing audience. Thank you. Peace and out.